So yeah, Mario Kart Tour is fairly interesting when it comes to how to win at that game, because you're supposed to score points and not just get first place. So you can score the most points even if you don't get first, because items play a huge role in how big your combo gets. So this video is based on how useful items are for getting first place and keeping your combos up. And no, we're not going to include frenzies or upgraded items, because that's a little excessive. So with all that said, make sure to smash that subscribe button for more Nintendo videos like this one. Oh, and I think I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah, let's get her ranked.
32. Bubble. Are you really surprised that a bubble is the worst item? Wow, so intimidating. Better watch out, guys. So with the bubble, you're immune to getting hit and receive a bit of a speed boost. While this can be nice for shortcuts, you also miss out on getting big combos. And frankly, even with the extra speed, you'll sometimes end up going slower than the other racers because the bubble tends to take really loose turns. 31. Green Shell. We all know how this one works. The green shell flies straight forward and crashes into any card it hits. You can also use it as protection from behind, and it can be thrown backwards. While it's a decent defense item, you're not going to get many points out of this. There's much better options when it comes to defending yourself and having more combo potential. 30. Triple green shells. The name speaks for itself. You have the power of 3 green shells instead of just 1. Something really bizarre about how they work in Mario Kart Tour is you're forced to throw all 3 shells at once, which is kind of counterproductive if you ask me. It's not bad necessarily, since that can make it easier to hit opponents, but that also means you can't hold on to a stock of them anymore. 29. Fire Flower. One of the first iconic Mario power-ups. The Fire Flower's usage has changed throughout the years. In Double Dash, you'd throw it once and a speed would go flying forward or backwards. In Mario Kart 7 and 8, you chucked fireballs one at a time in succession. And in Mario Kart Tour, it's reverted back to Double Dash, but you throw 3 big fireballs. It's fairly similar to the triple green shells. 28. Banana. Here's another classic you're all too familiar with. Throwing the banana forward or behind you creates a slippery obstacle. Like the green shell, you can hold this from behind for protection. These are slightly better than the green shells because they don't have the option of bouncing around all over the place. You can also place them in more strategic spots so your opponents have to worry about them more. 27. Triple banana. Bananas, but they're 3. Like the triple green shells, they'll spin around you in a circle, and you also throw them all at once. While it makes hitting some enemies easier, again, you can't hold on to any of them. 26. Mega Mushroom. The only exclusive Mario Kart Wii item to return. You'll grow into a large fella for a little bit and shrink back down after some time. There really aren't any huge advantages to this one. You'll revert to normal size if hit by an item, and you don't get more speed on or off road. All you've got going for you is you can squish opponents if they're nearby, and that's about it. 25. Heart. Who would have thought we'd ever see this again? It functions similarly to Double Dash. If you run into an item, you're shielded from its attack. What does suck is you can't take the item for yourself anymore, and the hearts also disappear after a while, so it's not nearly as useful. You can have up to 5 hearts at once, but it doesn't really help much for building up points or combos. 24. Ice Flower. Shockingly, Mario Kart Tour is the first time this was an item. You'd think it would have happened forever ago. The Ice Flower is much better than the fire because when you hit someone, they freeze up and slide across the track. This completely disorients and throws off the player, but you still have to carefully aim your shot. 23. Giga Bob-Omb. This looks like it'd be a really useful item, right? Well, not so much. So the way this one works is a bit weird. When you throw it, it'll bounce a few times and then it explodes. The blast radius is a lot bigger than a normal Bob-Omb, which may sound useful, but it's not the easiest to aim with. And you also can't throw it backwards, which is a huge setback. 22. Bob-Omb. Now to the one we're all a little more familiar with. What makes this slightly better is that it's much easier to aim your throws. Even with a smaller blast radius, being able to aim the Bob-Omb's direction is much more consistent. And you can also throw it backwards to clear your path behind you fairly easily. 21. Hammer. This is unlike the one seen in the Mario Kart arcade titles. You throw 5 hammers forward or 3 backwards. What's really cool about the hammer in this game is they kind of work like a red shell if thrown forward. If you're close enough, they'll home in on a racer. But that's the thing, you've gotta be at close range for the attack to be homing. That's the only drawback. It requires specific conditions. 20. Spiny Shell. This was never a winner's first pick. The Spiny Shell homes in on the player in first place and knocks them around silly. There's a small chance this shell can be destroyed or avoided with a mushroom boost or super horn, but it's hard to pull that off. Its usefulness for getting points really depends on how many players you end up hitting on the way to first, so it's very situational. 19. Double Bob-Ombs. This is fairly similar to the single Bob-Ombs, but instead you'll throw 2. This is great because it increases your chances of hitting someone, whether it's forward or backward. 18. Dash Ring. If you needed a little pickup, the Dash Ring gives you a speed boost when you drive through it. So it's basically a mushroom, but slightly worse, because you can actually share your Dash Ring with other people. So while it's a cool idea and it helps with your comboing, the fact that others can go through it kinda sucks. 17. Mushroom. You get a nice little boost of speed, and unlike the Dash Ring, you're the only one that gets to enjoy its benefits and beauty. 16. Triple Mushrooms. The name speaks for itself. You get 3 mushrooms. Instead of manually using them one by one, they're all used at the same time and gives you a boost of speed for longer than a single mushroom, so it's slightly better. 15. Bob-Omb Cannon. We already know that Bob-Ombs are solid items, so a cannon that automatically shoots a bunch of them in front of you is even better. Unfortunately, you can't drop any from behind you, but it really is a lot better just for the sheer quantity at your disposal. 14. Mushroom Cannon. You shoot mushrooms out of a cannon, and if you're really good, you should be able to use most, if not all of them. The only bad thing is you may launch a mushroom in front of one of your rivals, but for the most part, you're gonna get these tasty mushes all for yourself. 13. Giant Banana. While it's slightly circumstantial in its use, it's actually pretty darn awesome. You lay down a massive banana, and when someone runs into it, they slow down and 3 more bananas fly onto the road. These are great to lay down on narrow paths, so they're hard or impossible to avoid. And the fact that it turns into 3 more bananas is just icing on the cake. 12. Banana Barrels. 16 bananas fire out of a cannon. What more do you need me to say? I mean, sure, there's the risk of you running into a couple of them, but the massive amount of bananas you get will hit a lot of players, and you'll net a crap load of points from this. 11. Red Shell. Fire this and it homes in on a rival. For the most part, it's a guaranteed hit and it's an easy way to get points / keep a combo going. We're now getting to the items that are extremely viable, and this is one of them. 10. Yoshi / Birdo Egg. It's basically the red shell, but when you hit a player, more items spew out onto the track. This can be useful since you may be able to nab a quick mushroom or star, and it leaves extra items on the track for other players to hit, netting you more points. 9. Super Horn. This is an incredibly versatile item, and is awesome for defense and points. In fact, if you hit a blue shell, you get a load of points for doing so. It can also be used for hitting players around you if you want. The only downside is that it's really rare. There's about a 4% chance you'll get it in first place, so best of luck. 8. Bullet Bill. You fly forward if you're falling behind, completely invincible to everything in your path. Obviously, this is good for getting closer to first place, but you also get points for hitting players along the way, so it's great for multiple reasons. 7. Blooper. You might think this is just okay, but Mario Kart Tour is a different game. If you use a blooper in mid or last-ish place, you get lots of points from everybody you hit with the blooper. And with this game, it's pretty easy to catch up from being behind, so getting this early on is a great way to get a chunk of points. 6. Lucky 7. I almost put this in the number 7 spot for the memes, but it is better than the blooper because you get 7 items at your disposal. The best being the Super Horn, Blooper, and Mushroom. The other items are awesome to have too for defense or offense. You really can't go wrong with this one. 5. Boomerang Flower. This item got so buffed in this game that it's not even funny. In Mario Kart 8, you can throw this at multiple characters at once, and for Mario Kart Tour, that means extra points for you. But not only that, it collects the coins that are surrounding it, which is even more points. It's so multifunctional that it had to be in the top 5. 4. Lightning. The odds of you getting this are pretty low, but you get points from everyone you zap, and the fact that you can only get it in 7th or 8th place means you're getting a ton of points. Plus it slows everyone down and you can squish players when they're small. 3. Bowser Shell. By far the coolest Mario-themed shell of all time. Throw this bad boy and you're set to hit quite a few players. And it's even better than it was in Double Dash. In this game, the shell stays in the middle of the path and also curves towards nearby players, making it really hard to avoid. Unfortunately, it can only be thrown forward, but the mass amount of destruction makes it one of the greats. 2. Coin. This is weird, isn't it? The coin at the number 2 spot? Well, like I've been saying, the goal of Mario Kart Tour is to win with points. The best way to do this is to keep your combo up. The most efficient way to keep your combo is to collect coins and jump off ramps, and these two things work in tandem. Without coins, it'd be way harder to maintain your combos, therefore making them really important to get. 1. Coin box. Coins are like a candy bar, but a coin box is like a massive cake. A barrage of coins erupts from the box right in front of you, giving you a chance to get a ton of points and keep your combo going for a really long time. I mean, this is a gacha game after all. Of course money is the ultimate weapon. Now, before we end things, you might be wondering, why didn't I bring up the star item? Well, you technically get it from frenzies, which isn't really the same thing. And while it can be used as a normal item, that's only in very specific missions. Now, I'm really hoping that Mario Kart Tour doesn't add any more items. I put off this video for so long because they kept adding stuff, but it's been over a year, so hopefully they'll stop because that'll make me a little annoyed if they add more items after this. But anyway, I want to thank Mankalore for all the help. His channel is in the description. With all that said, thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Until next time.